U.S. President Donald Trump issued a bizarre warning Tuesday about French President Emmanuel Macron's proposal for Europe to create its own army. Trump tweeted, "Emmanuel Macron suggests building its own army to protect Europe against the U.S., China and Russia. But it was Germany in World War I. For NATO or not, Emmanuel Macron suggests building its own army to protect Europe against the U.S., China and Russia. But it was Germany in World War I. Came along. Pay for NATO or not." Donald J. Trump, @RealDonaldTrump, November 13, 2018. The problem is that Emmanuel suffers from a very low approval rating in France, 26%, and an unemployment rate of almost 10%. He was just trying to get onto another subject. By the way, there is no country more nationalist than France. Very proud people and rightfully so. Donald J. Trump, @RealDonaldTrump, November 13, 2018. While the text of the tweet is cryptic, Trump appeared to be warning that Germany may invade France again without NATO and U.S. protection. Trump followed his initial tweet with 4 more, including "Make France Great Again," and an apparent rebuke of Macron's recent attack on nationalism. Update: after Trump unloads on Macron, Merkel joins calls for a European Union military on Sunday. Macron led tributes to the millions of soldiers killed in World War I, using an emotional ceremony in Paris attended by scores of world leaders to warn against nationalism a century on from the conflict. We've got more newsletters we think you'll find interesting. Click here. Please try again later. Trump received international criticism for skipping a visit to an American cemetery on Saturday due to rain, a move which was widely panned on Twitter. Winston Churchill's grandson called Trump pathetic and not fit, while the French army seemed to troll Trump with a photo of a soldier training in the rain. Caption: "There is rain, but it does not matter." By the way, when the helicopter couldn't fly to the first cemetery in France because of almost zero visibility, I suggested driving. Secret Service said no, too far from airport. Speech next day at American cemetery in pouring rain. Little reported fake news. Donald J. Trump, @RealDonaldTrump, November 13, 2018. On Tuesday, Trump tweeted a defense of why he didn't attend that event, saying, "By the way, when the helicopter couldn't fly to the first cemetery in France because of almost zero visibility, I suggested driving. Secret Service said no, too far from airport." Speech next day at American cemetery in pouring rain. Little reported fake news. Read more. Macron rebukes Trump's America First approach and Trump's reaction goes viral. Winston Churchill's grandson calls Trump pathetic and not fit after skipping World War I cemetery visit. Trump, Russian President Vladimir Putin, German Chancellor Angela Merkel and dozens of monarchs, princes, presidents and prime ministers joined Macron to mark the moment the guns fell silent across Europe 100 years earlier. Under gray skies and gently falling rain, many heads of state joined Macron in walking the last stretch of the Champs-Élysées to the Arc de Triomphe, where the ceremony was held. Trump and Putin arrived slightly later in separate motorcades. France's Macron calls for true European army to defend against U.S., Russia. In a 20-minute address delivered beside the tomb of the unknown soldier, Macron described the unimaginable hell of those who fought in the trenches, denouncing the nationalism that fanned the flames of war and now shows signs of resurgence. Macron spoke bluntly of the threat from nationalism, calling it a betrayal of moral values. Trump, who has described himself as a nationalist and has promoted what he calls an America First policy, sat a few meters away, stony-faced. Patriotism is the exact opposite of nationalism. Nationalism is a betrayal of patriotism, Macron said. When we say our interests come first, those of others don't matter, we erase the very thing that a nation holds most precious, that which gives it life and makes it great, its moral values. Reuters contributed to this story.